Grey's Anatomy has been on air for an incredible 20 years, and through all 22 seasons, two faces have remained constants: Chandra Wilson as Dr. Miranda Bailey and James Pickens Jr. as Dr. Richard Webber. But in a surprising revelation, Chandra Wilson admitted she once thought her journey on the show would end after just one season. Appearing on Good Morning America, Wilson shared that after season 1, she became pregnant with her third child and assumed she'd be written off. She even called the producers to thank them for the opportunity, only for Shonda Rhimes to respond, "Don't be ridiculous." That moment, Wilson says, was news to my ears. Since then, Wilson has gone on to deliver one of television's most iconic performances, and her son Michael became Grey's Anatomy's first ever show baby. Over the years, more than 36 babies have been born to cast members, a testament to how supportive Shonda Rhimes' production environment is for working mothers. Actresses like Scandal's Katie Lowes and Grey's alum Ellen Pompeo have echoed this sentiment, calling Rhimes an extraordinary boss who celebrates pregnancy and ensures her team is supported, paid, and cared for during motherhood. Even after Rhimes stepped back from day-to-day operations, that family-first culture has stayed strong, as seen in Season 22's 450th episode, which included a storyline about motherhood inspired by writer Zoanne Clack's real-life experience. From fearing she'd lose her job to becoming one of TV's longest-running stars, Chandra Wilson's story proves that when women support women, both on and off screen, the results can be truly legendary. Hey lovely viewers, welcome to our channel Grey's Anatomy Official. That was news to my ears. Chandra Wilson has been on Grey's Anatomy for 22 seasons. Why she thought she'd be written off after one. Grey's Anatomy has been on the air for 20 years now, and after Ellen Pompeo reduced her role in front of the camera a few years ago, only two actors have the privilege of being able to say they've been series regulars on all 22 seasons: Chandra Wilson and James Pickens Jr. It's hard to imagine Grey Sloan Memorial without Miranda Bailey and Richard Webber. But the actress revealed that she actually thought she wouldn't make it to season 2. Thanks for watching this video. Please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Bailey made a quick impression on both the new interns and the fans with her "I Have 5 Rules" speech in the Grey's Anatomy series premiere in 2005. After that first season, however, Chandra Wilson became pregnant with her third child, and she said on Good Morning America she thought that meant her time on the show was over, recalling, "My first instinct was to get in touch with and say, thank you so much for allowing me to play Dr. Bailey for the first season, and I understand that I'll have to step away now." She was like, "I don't know what you're talking about. Don't be ridiculous." And that was news to my ears. After 2 decades of seeing the strong women that Shonda Rhimes champions in her series, she certainly doesn't seem like the kind of boss to let someone go because they're having a baby. Chandra Wilson didn't know that, though, back in 2005, and she was apparently surprised to hear that she'd be able to continue in her Grey's Anatomy role. She went on to give birth to her son Michael, who she said was the medical drama's first show baby, and since then, Chandra Wilson says there have been at least 36 babies born to various cast members. In fact, Shonda Rhimes has become famously wonderful to work for when you're pregnant. Katie Lowes, who starred in Scandal and has appeared on 4 of Shonda Rhimes' series, said Rhimes fostered such a sense of community and support, saying, "She took care of me so much so that she didn't even want me going up and down the stairs of my trailer. They built me a porch so that it was safe. In fact, I should have had 7,500 babies while Shonda Rhimes was my boss, because she takes care of pregnant women and moms unbelievably well." Ellen Pompeo had a similar experience, saying on the Call Her Daddy podcast earlier this year that Shonda Rhimes' best quality as a boss was so easy to answer. She continued, "When you tell her you're pregnant, you're having a baby, she literally sounds the bell, the confetti comes down. How many days do you need off? What can we do for you? How do we make this easier for you? How do we get you paid and keep your job? We're gonna write your scenes, and you only have to work 1 day a week." I mean, she's extraordinary in that way. Shonda Rhimes may not be running the day-to-day over on Grey's Anatomy, but it seems being able to have a family is still held in high regard for those who want to. In the milestone 450th episode that aired October 16th, longtime writer Zoanne Clack echoed her own journey of having a child via a donor through Maggie Pierce's storyline. Grey's Anatomy EP defends killing spoiler in Season 22 premiere. "I wanted to see someone die selflessly." When crafting the Grey's Anatomy Season 22 premiere, which picked up in the immediate aftermath of an explosion at Grey Sloan Memorial, Showrunner Meg Marinis was given the unenviable task of deciding which beloved hospital staffer wouldn't live to see episode 2. After all, it doesn't have as much of an impact if everyone is saved, Marinis explains to The Hollywood Reporter. Virtually every character was on the chopping block, but after much internal debate, Marinis says, "One morning, I woke up and went to the writer's room and I said, it's Monica." More from Grey's Anatomy kills off spoiler in Season 22 premiere. Grey's Anatomy Season 22 Episode 2 recap. Monica's death shakes Amelia. Maggie's surprise and Owen Teddy drama. Here's what happened. Grey's Anatomy Season 22 Episode 2, titled We Built This City, delivers heartbreak and healing in equal measure. As the team mourns Monica's tragic death, Amelia struggles to cope. Maggie returns with a life-changing secret, and Owen and Teddy's marriage continues to crumble. Here's everything that went down this week. Grey's Anatomy returned this week with another emotional ride in Season 22 Episode 2, titled We Built This City. The episode picked up right after the tragic explosion that ended last week's premiere and showed how everyone at Grey Sloan Memorial Hospital is trying to move on. From heartbreak and recovery to new surprises, this episode had everything, and it proved once again why. Amelia struggles to cope with Monica's death. The loss of Dr. Monica Beltran has hit everyone hard, but no one more than Dr. Amelia Shepard. She was hoping to build something more than friendship with Monica, but their story ended before it could begin. Heartbroken and filled with guilt, Amelia shut herself off from everyone. She stayed in bed, replaying every moment in her head, believing she could have stopped what happened. But her sisters, Dr. Meredith Grey and Dr. Maggie Pierce, refused to let her drown in sadness. Maggie flew in from Chicago to help Meredith support Amelia, and together, they reminded her that she's not alone. They told her it wasn't her fault, that sometimes things go wrong for no reason at all. With their help, Amelia finally got out of bed and began to face her grief. Maggie's visit wasn't just about supporting her sister. She also had a big secret to share: she's pregnant. The news shocked Meredith and Amelia, especially when Maggie explained that she used a sperm donor. She said she was ready to be a mother on her own and didn't want anyone's approval. The sisters were happy for her, but honest about how hard it can be to raise a child alone. Meredith, remembering her own struggles as a working mom, told Maggie that motherhood would be tough but also full of joy. The three sisters shared a quiet, emotional moment, a rare bit of light in an otherwise heavy episode. Amelia takes a break from work. After opening up to her sisters, Amelia made another big decision. She went to Dr. Richard Weber and told him she wanted a sabbatical. She admitted that she's been using work as a way to stay busy and avoid her feelings. As a recovering addict, she explained that sometimes people replace one addiction with another, and for her, that addiction was surgery. Richard supported her decision. He understood that she needed time to heal, both from Monica's loss and from years of pushing herself too hard. When Richard asked where she would go, Amelia simply said, "Wherever my people are." It was a quiet but powerful moment, a sign that she's finally putting herself first. Link's painful road to recovery. While Amelia was taking a step back, Dr. Atticus Link Lincoln was trying to push himself too far. Still recovering from his injury, Link wanted to get back on his feet and return to work. He hated being treated like a patient, especially by Dr. Jo Wilson, his wife. To him, her care felt like pity, and that made him angry. Link's frustration came from fear of being weak, of missing out on helping his pregnant wife, and of not being there for his growing family. His temper led to fights with Jo and reckless choices in rehab. Dr. Owen Hunt, who was overseeing his recovery, should have stopped him from overdoing it, but Owen was too distracted by his own problems. Owen and Teddy's marriage on the edge. Owen and Dr. Teddy Altman are still struggling in their marriage. They've been friends for over 20 years, but now they can't even be in the same room without arguing. After opening their marriage, things only got messier. Owen used that freedom to sleep with someone else, while Teddy realized she didn't want anyone else at all. Their relationship now feels broken, with Owen staying at the hospital and Teddy at home with the kids. Even though they're apart, their personal issues are spilling into their work, and Link's case showed just how much that tension is affecting their patients too. Lucas, Simone, and the messy love triangle. Over in the intern group, things weren't any calmer. Dr. Lucas Adams is still hurt over his breakup with Dr. Simone Griffith, especially after learning that she slept with another intern named Dr. West soon after. Lucas's anger showed in his attitude during surgery, leading Dr. Ben Warren to remove him from the operating room for unprofessional behavior. To make matters worse, Lucas discovered the truth about Simone in West mid-shift, and the realization crushed him. His heartbreak was clear, even if he tried to hide it behind sarcasm and frustration. It's safe to say that this love triangle isn't ending anytime soon. Ben gets promoted, and Jules faces her grief. In the middle of all the chaos, Dr. Ben Warren proved himself once again. After helping save a man who was impaled by a forklift, Dr. Miranda Bailey promoted him to chief resident. She said she needed someone she could trust to manage the residents while she focused on bigger hospital challenges. Meanwhile, Dr. Jules Millen realized she hadn't truly processed Monica's death. During surgery, she froze, a sign that her grief was still fresh. Later, she gathered her fellow residents for a quiet memorial in Monica's honor. It was a small but meaningful moment, allowing everyone to finally say goodbye. Grey's Anatomy Season 22, Episode 3. The episode ended on a hopeful note, with Amelia starting to heal, Maggie embracing new beginnings, and the interns learning to lean on each other again. But things are far from calm at Grey Sloan Memorial. Next week's episode, titled Between Two Lungs, will air on October 23, 2025, and focus on a risky lung transplant that pushes the surgical team to their limits. Dr. Miranda Bailey will also face a tough trauma case that could change everything for her patient.